Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in to Making It Work. I'm Jimmy if you're new here. I've been a mechanic professionally for 43 some odd years, something like that. Yeah, I'm old. I've worked at a lot of different places, seen just about everything you can see as a professional mechanic. And I got a problem. People say mechanics are thieves. Are they? Stay tuned if you want to hear some thoughts on this subject. Alright guys, I see this on the internet way too much. Even on YouTube, I see a lot of mechanics and shops that have videos about how terrible other mechanics are, how incompetent they are, and how they're going to save everybody from all the incompetence. And it really, what's a good way to put it? Chaps my shorts, burns my butt, fire about this high. Don't like it at all, because it's something that I've referenced in my day in the shop videos on occasion. The problem is a people problem. Your occupation doesn't determine whether you're honest or not. So one of the things I've noticed throughout the course of my career was sometimes people come in with a chip on their shoulder right away because they have to deal with a thief mechanic. When in reality, there's a lot of different things at play. One is their experience, their capability, their training. Are they working out of their comfort zone on something they're not familiar with, maybe the type of car you have, that kind of thing. All those things come into play to create that perception whether they're a thief or not. The biggest problem with it is the customers have no idea what's going on and how complicated their car is and the things that they're doing might be. The customer doesn't know anything about that. So when you don't understand something, you automatically default to thief. So it really surprises me when other mechanics do it to each other, because nobody's perfect in this business. The best mechanics are the ones that care about what they're doing and are trying to do their best while they're trying to make a living. If you're on flat rate, you're in a shop probably 50 hours a week like I am, and to you a good week is 50 to 70 hours. So in order to clock that kind of hours, you got to be hustling. You can make a mistake a lot more likely if you're not very, very careful and double checking your work, taking just a minute or two to make sure it's done right. But that's just one component. The other component is, if you bring your car in and say, my car's misfiring, most mechanics are going to take a look at it, find out what's making it misfire, maybe spot your serpentine belt's about to shred, or your air conditioning's not blowing very cool, you have a filthy air filter, that kind of thing. They might make a recommendation or two besides the actual problem you came in for. That's how most mechanics would do it. But what most shops do, and including the ones that you see on the internet talking about how terrible mechanics are, they employ the mechanics too, which is really odd. But those shops are making those mechanics comb over your car to see what else you might need or what else they can sell you. A lot of shops push that stuff really hard. They literally have meetings about how many alignments you sold, how many brake jobs you did, how many tires you sold, those kind of things, how many cabin filters, air filters, transmission flushes, power steering flushes. All that stuff's on a list. And at the end of every month or every quarter, they're going over it. They're trying to figure out who's falling short. And then they have a meeting with the mechanics and tell the mechanics they're not holding up their end of the bargain. They're not selling enough work. But that doesn't make the mechanic a thief, does it? It makes the shop a thief. And my problem is, as a mechanic, you're forced to do that kind of stuff, and you're held liable if you miss something. So you have to write down everything you see on a list, which is fine. Some mechanics aren't going to really take the time to do the inspections correctly, and they're just going to wing it. They're just going to guess. So that's where it's the customer's job to know, my car was just tuned up, the coolant was just flushed, and the brakes were just flushed when they were done, 6 months ago. So when that shop tells you need those things, you say, no, I don't know, that stuff was just done. There's even been times when the mechanic says the car's in great shape and there's nothing wrong with it, and then those service advisors, especially at dealerships, and those service advisors give them a ticket. I sold a fuel injection service, a brake flush, and a coolant flush. Well, I told you that those things were in good shape. Yeah, customer wants to do it anyway, which means the people up front are thieves, not the mechanics. So shops can be thieves, service advisors can be thieves, mechanics can be thieves, and customers can also not know what's going on with the car and think someone's a thief. So there's a lot of opportunities for thievery. And I just wanted to make this video real quick to address those things, because I see it way too often. And the one thing I can tell you is the shop wants to have a good reputation. So if the shop gets called on something, they're probably going to blame the mechanic. Even though that service advisor came out and sold all those things the mechanic said it didn't need, when they get called out on it, they're going to say, well, the mechanic told me it needed. I apologize. I'll have a meeting with him and talk to him. Because no one up at the top of that business is going to take the blame and say, well, we're too aggressive sometimes. No, they're going to blame the mechanic. But I'm going to tell you right now, 9 times out of 10, it's not the mechanic. Matter of fact, the mechanics get yelled at for missing those things. And sometimes the mechanic says it doesn't need them, and someone else will say it does. I mean, that's why I'm working where I work now. I've been here for 17 years because that stuff's not going on here usually. It can happen by mistake, but it's not a common thing. That's how I've stayed here so long. I've worked at Pep Boys, Midas, Tuffy, Meineke, a couple independent shops, a Chevrolet dealership. I've had my own shop for a short time. That's a whole nother story. I'm here to tell you that don't assume the mechanics are thieves, and your best weapon is to be informed, to have a little bit of an idea what's going on about your car, ask to see some of the old parts that they replaced. If they tell you you need a power steering flush, tell them, can I take a look at the fluid? What's wrong with it? Show me the difference between my fluid and the new fluid. If they tell you you need an air filter, what does it look like? Show me a picture of it, show me the air filter. I don't even like a picture, because it's not above some shops, if they're really aggressive and their salesmen get commission on what they sell. It's not impossible for them to take a picture of a dirty or worn out component and tell you, you need this, look at this picture, but it's not from your car. So you really have to be careful and be on the ball with that kind of stuff and covering your bases. My whole point with this video is I'm a mechanic, and I'm pretty sick and tired of seeing how mechanics are thieves. Most of the time the shop is giving a mechanic who's not really trained and experienced or competent at doing the repair they're giving them, because that shop will make more money. So that shop is going to give some kid that gets $18 an hour the job instead of a master technician that gets 30 some odd dollars an hour. They're going to give them that job because they make more money. And then people go online and say that mechanic's a thief. So that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to summarize. Give mechanics a break. Most of them, I've worked with a lot of mechanics, and most of them want to fix your car correctly. They want to fix it for you quickly, and they don't want to have a comeback. And then there's other mechanics that are being pushed to do things out of their comfort zone, and they can't say no. You tell your service advisor or your manager or your shop owner that says, here, do this, and you go, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not comfortable doing that. That's probably not going to go well for you. You know, maybe on occasion it might work, but as a regular thing, it's not going to work. That's why sometimes I'll see an oil change guy doing a tune-up or an induction service and brakes and things, but it's someone that has a 1.5 year experience in the business. It's probably not a good plan. But just keep those things in mind. Don't be so quick to blame the mechanic. Think about the big picture. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, and most people don't know about it. And I'm going to point it out. Sometimes I'll go in to shops that make videos about how bad mechanics are. Sometimes you'll see me in the comments saying, is it really the mechanic? Is that how that happened? So make sure you cruise around the internet and see. I might be commenting on other videos besides my own. Hope you got something from this video. Hope you can appreciate your own mechanic a little bit more maybe, and realize that they're not all bad guys. Torque the like button on your way out if you got something from this video. Subscribe if you're new here. My Day in the Shop series is the biggest series on the channel. I also have project truck videos. I do occasional tool reviews and things like that. So I hope I see you in one of those videos, because you're awesome.